And we are live. Good evening, good evening, good evening. And yeah, this evening I'm joined by the awesome Predpool because today Predator Badlands they dropped a second trailer on us. And there isn't too much new information on it, but it is confirming a lot of things. And speaking of confirmation, I have to give props to this guy because the last time the last time we were doing a stream about this, the first trailer that came out, I had major issues, and I still have issues. I still have issues with the facial design, particularly the execution. The design doesn't piss me off as much as other people, but the execution, the CG, the added CG to it. Also, hello to Sparkstron and Mr. Dan and her. Hey guys. So as I was saying before, the execution is where I'm more annoyed and perturbed with this design. But Predpool, in his infinite wisdom, mentioned this could be a case like Sonic the Hedgehog. They could probably tweak it in post production, and they did. It appears they have removed that first trailer. Really softened the features. The Predator is called Deck, and they really softened these features. Not so much in this trailer now. They seem to have tweaked it a bit, and I will just try and show you how. So yeah, I don't know if this is the best example, but I think they have done a better job making him look more Yautja
Hmm.
than softening these features. Like I still, again though, as I said before, and we were debating this before we went live, the use of CG to enhance the face, there's still that uncanny valley. There's still that uncanny valley there. And I really wish they had gone with practical effects, but as Predpool discussed, there might be safety concerns nowadays with like having a helmet with servos and electronics in it. It could be a time scale thing. Making a practical effect might be that more difficult, but there is just something about a practical effect that the human eye can determine that is real, where this isn't. And you were making a point, Predpool, about Godzilla
Ye-
movies, the different Godzilla movies we've had.
Yeah, like I was just mentioned before that I'm trying to compare this franchise to something that I can like kind of relate to how there's different versions of a character. And the first one that came to my mind was Godzilla. If you look at Godzilla 1954, that was all a suit. Obviously, the what they used back then, even today in practical effects wise wouldn't stand up, but it's still considered a cherished movie. It had tones about things that was going on during that time after the Second World War. He was a terrifying monster, etc. So then we see now different versions of Godzillas have come since then, whether from Japan or from the United States. Some practical effects we see also here from the MonsterVerse. We all know it's all CGI. For the most part, people still enjoy Godzilla for what he is, whether he's a terror to mankind or a savior of mankind, whether he's serious or being campy. Everyone has different appreciation for how he is presented to the audience. Well,
Mhm.
whichever way the studio decided to do that. And some of the movies, even I'm a big Godzilla fan, but there's some of the movies I will not rewatch. It's not for me. But there's some that I just love. Even I love the older ones. Mecha Godzilla, the original one is my favorite. But in today's standards, obviously that effects doesn't stand up, but it's still one of my favorite movies as far as the Godzilla franchise. So,
I
I think with Predator it's the same thing. We think about the first Predator movie. It's all practical effect, and it is still the OG, just like Godzilla 1954. And since then, other movies have come out. Some more, there've been more misses than hits, and they use different effects to try to present different Predator characters. Because again, it's a race, so it's not the same. It's not even
Yeah, it's
Godzilla's
not the
supposed to be
same
one.
individual. There's different
Exactly.
species, different clans, and such forth.
So that's what I was talking about before, trying to make that analogy between those two franchise and except even again me being growing up with the older stuff, trying to adjust to the new things that are being done.
Oh, also, just want to say hello. Thanks, Mac, for coming into the chat. Let's see. Mac says Godzilla versus Mecha Godzilla from the 90s is awesome. Also, hello to my gorgeous girlfriend who stopped in. I agree with you to an extent, but at the same
Hmm.
time, with those, Godzilla would not be acting directly opposite a human being, a human performer, and it's again, it's just something the human eye can pick up. And whereas again, I'm a Godzilla fan as well, but
Hmm.
I do acknowledge some of the suits, some of the designs, some of the looks of the suits have not aged well.
Hmm.
That original fucking Stan Winston design is fine fucking wine. It is fine wine. It looks fucking gorgeous to this day. And even the weaker Predator movies, the practical effects, maybe AVP, as again they soften the features. There is just something more indelible and more emotive to a character than a computer generated puppet. Now, the thing is, as you said before as well, this could be half and half. This could be just enhancements, but the eyes are really what I'm not getting biblical and I'm not getting philosophical, but the eyes really are a window to the soul, and you can tell if something it has digital eyes, and it's just again, I'm being pedantic. I apologize. I'm not trying to.
That's all
I'm
right.
not trying to shoot down your analogy. You're dead right. You're dead right. Sparksatron says CG is cheaper. I don't know about that. I suppose it's less time consuming. So maybe from a financial standpoint, that would be the case. Also, Papa Gas, Goss is in the chat as well. Good evening, fellas. I'm stoked for Predator Badlands. Hope it's great as Prey. Yeah, me too. Me too. Um, is okay. Cards and table, Purple. What did you like about this trailer? What did you like about this new trailer?
What I like about this trailer, it gave more information but didn't give away the movie. Um, I think there's certain parts of it that kind of made me kind of contemplate and think more what could possibly happen. And I'll give you just an example. One of the things, there's like the character that Fanning is playing. She's playing two, possibly
Tia.
I think it's two
Tia is
androids.
one of them. I keep forgetting the other name. Tia and
But
something else. I'm
yeah,
not sure.
so she's playing two androids. So this can go several ways. We see the one that's kind of cut in half that's working with Deck. We don't know if she has what her real intentions are. If she's there sent by Yutani, Wailing Yutani to do bio weapons and with creatures and so forth, she might be just playing him and trying to somehow lure him to a location where they can trap him and then use him for experimentation. Or we can have a scenario with Walter and David where she's not really so bad, but then the other one, her other version, is a
Yeah.
David. And then, she has other plans, and there's could be a conflict between these two androids for what. So it just makes me think what could happen just in that aspect, what he has in mind when he made this movie, how that's going to play out. So you can't, I'm not going in trusting, thinking, oh, she seems funny, she seems nice, she must be a good. She might turn the table. She could, be someone, or an android that has other intentions. She is again a product of a company that is trying to develop weapons.
I
And that again, that's just one of the things from this trailer that kind of made me think more about that. Um, and then I did like as far as they show more a little bit more about a little bit of the conflict between that elder predator and the father and Deck.
Mhm.
Without showing all of it, but um, it gives an idea as far as what we're going to expect when we go to the theaters.
Yeah. Again, if anyone's worried about spoilers or anything, I'm going to keep
Oh,
it to a minimum. From what
okay.
I've ascertained is essentially Deck is a runt.
Mm-hmm.
He is the runt of the litter. He is the runt of the clan, and the clan leader is like, Spartan law. We gotta kill this thing. So Deck's father is taking him out and about to fucking seppuku, fucking behead him. And obviously he has a change of heart, gets in a fight with the elder. The elder possibly kills Deck's father, and Deck has to book it out of there. And to prove himself, he has to go to this essentially hell world, hell planet, to basically prove he's not a runt, prove he can be a hunter. And as Elle Fanning says, this is your first hunt and you've picked the worst planet possible. And again, I think it's a case of two things. One, he's a runt, he's a teenager, he's an impetuous teenager who's like, I'm gonna fucking prove myself. I'm not just gonna go to any old world. I'm gonna go to the most dangerous planet, hunt the most dangerous game. And it's also a case of, well, in Predator society, hey Tex, we got Tex in the chat, and he says it looks pretty epic. The other thing as well, he has basically a death mark or a kind of black mark on his fucking his membership, his role in Yautja society. So he needs to go and fucking take out something big and epic to get himself back into the clan. So I reckon that's his kind of modus operandi. And he's not really fucking adept like other predators. You can tell there is this cool montage where he's trying out his weapons, but that plant creature just fucking disarms him and just slaps him around the place. And that's what I like. He's not some kind of real stealthy. You've seen in the other movies the way certain predators move and certain predators fight, and there's a finesse. This guy has none of that. He has no finesse. He is clumsy. He is clunky. He is swinging wildly. And you definitely get the feeling, yes, this is a runt Yautja. This is a young Yautja. This guy is even lower on the totem pole than the three guys that were sent to Antarctica. What do you think, Predpool? Do you think we've gotten a bit more of the character's essentially character in this trailer? Also, dude, you're muted. Your tin is muted.
Oh, I'm sorry. Thank you.
No,
No,
you're okay.
like, so I think like some of us who have read, like, especially the comics from the 90s, like the AVP ones, if you remember perhaps reading it after the first story arc, forgot her name, the Asian lady,
Michiko Nagachi.
Machiko. Okay, so after that story arc, she then becomes part of a clan, and then when she becomes part of that clan, there is a runt predator with her, and she's part of this clan. They show one of the stories where they're like going and they're trying to get an alien queen, and they most of the clan are also novices. So as far as the runt predators, they do exist in the lore. So this is like nothing. This is not really something new to the predator lore. As far as in this movie, oh, why is he small? Why is he short? Why is he human sized? Well, they've existed. It is something that they show up in the comics so often, and they usually do have a chip on their shoulder because they want to prove even more than the rest of the Yautja that they can survive, that they can be equal, if not greater, than the other predators. So yeah, so this part of this, this movie showing this doesn't. I'm kind of glad they kind of showing this because it is part of the predator lore. The only thing as far as the movie that I'm not superly concerned with, but it's kind of like, her quirkiness. She seems. I know they want to put a little comedy into this, but sometimes it seems.
Did you feel? Sorry for cutting across you. Did you feel maybe that there was a hint of Marvel MCU off the trailer? Because that had alarm bell set. Also, the Tembo Cinema came in and they said they're excited. They think they're setting up for an AVP. Sorry, dude, but do you get this kind of Marvel vibe off the trailer?
Yeah, like when in the part where he lifts her up, then he drops her, and then she like kind of picks her up and says, "Well, enjoy your journey."
That
okay.
Where she tackles that pterodactyl thing that's about to attack him, and then she comes on to frame and she's got a big smile on her face, and you're like,
I when I first saw it, I was expecting her for to say like "Hi."
Ayo. Yeah, I
I
was
was
like,
like, I'm like, I'm surprised she didn't, but I was like, "Hey."
I like. Would you if they started doing the kind of Josh Whedon Marvel quippiness? Yeah, what would you? What would happen? What would your viewpoint on the movie be if they started turning it into a Marvel flick?
Ah, I don't know. I mean, again, we have to wait and see. But based on this trailer, it looks like they did infuse. I want to say some of that quirkiness through her. Trying to, I guess they're trying to keep a little bit lightheartedness in certain parts of it. Um, and and then our previous conversations, I know you want more of the suspense horror type
Yeah,
Predator. While I was kind of okay with the kind of like Aliens, the second movie was more of a action packed with some suspense, but mostly
yeah,
action packed. But I think neither one of us wants Thor: Love and Thunder in the Predator.
yeah. Oh no, no, no. I
So,
no,
we don't
most
want that.
certainly not. Like every 10 minutes, the Predator's fucking joking or punching. He's punching fucking Tia or something,
Oh
or he's
yeah,
punching
well,
out
like in
fucking.
like the movie The Predator, when he gets a guy's arm with good of thumbs.
Yeah, I did.
We don't want stuff like that, thrown in.
We've been there, we've done that, we've bought the t-shirt. Please don't do it again. Um, one thing I do think is we are definitely going to get the Predator homeworld, and I think the Predator
Hmm.
homeworld might have been the same planet from the end of Killer of Killers. And what makes me think that? Well, this picture here. Now, maybe I'm wrong. I just think the geographical kind of structure of the planet makes me think, yeah, this is kind of the same kind of location. I don't know. You
Now,
think I'm
I
clutching at straws?
I think from what I remember, I read an article from what's his name, Dragonberg, the director guy. He he mentioned that there are two Predator worlds. You got the Ultra Prime, and then you got the one where all the bad bloods or the renegades or all
Yeah.
that, which is what we got from Killer of Killers. That's the one we got there, not the main Predator planet.
But do you think this is the same planet from the end of Killer Killers? Because again, the geography and stuff, just the cliff faces.
I think the plans are similar, but based on the look of Deck and the look of that Elder Predator, they seem to me
Yeah,
more of the traditional Predator, not the ones that we saw
but but
in
but
Killer of Killers.
But the thing is, if this is indeed a bad blood planet, maybe he's been fucking shipped off there. Maybe this is like, yeah, okay, before you're executed, we put you here so you don't infect or fucking you don't fucking procreate
Maybe,
and
yeah.
but no, but you get what I'm saying. The kind of the geographical layout,
Yeah.
they're more than fucking similar. I don't know. And again, it would tie it all together.
I
I
think like the mountain on, I guess, will be on my screen on the left, that it kind of looks very almost identical, but then the formation of the rocks on the right side of the screen, it's way different. I mean,
I oh
if you
I'm
say
not
it's the same.
I'm not saying it's the exact same location. I'm just saying it's the
Hmm.
same planet because
It
of
possibly is. I
the
mean,
geographical formation.
we won't know
Uh,
until we see the movie or the director explains it more outright as far as but I read that he said that there are two planets, and
uh,
the Killer of Killers is one of them.
yeah, I think it's the same. I think Deck has been shipped off to the kind of fucking bad little place. Also, hello to Double Features Podcast. Great fucking podcast and great YouTube channel. Um, yeah, you and me both text the way things are going. I'd like to ship off to another planet. Yeah, with the way things are going, I wouldn't blame you, dude. Um, but what else from the trailer did you like? I keep on cutting across you. I apologize. I'm
No
being a fuck.
worries. Um, I, I'm interested to see how or what takes out all the other androids, because suppose if all the ones like with the rifles that were at night with the flashlights, those are all androids too. They're not human.
Yeah, and I'm after deleting the picture. Yeah, there is a bunch of synthetics that get
So
taken out. So
either they're taken out by deck or they're taken out because also that big creature looks like he shows up in their camp and looks like he really wrecks the place up. So because even deck, when there was a scene where he's carrying I forgot her name again, the
yeah,
android on his back. He's walking on this debris and you can see like a synthetic, on the ground torn apart. So I don't doesn't look like he Deck necessarily is the one who did it. It just seems like that big creature did it. And if there's a part where they show like a caravan of trucks, I wouldn't be surprised if they're transporting that creature and something went wrong and escaped and they just messed them all up. I think they had caught
I
it and they were going to experiment or do something with it, but it got out. And
I have a feeling, dude. I have a feeling that Deck is the reason that thing escaped.
possibly,
I've
yeah, because he's there to hunt something big and they're getting away.
Yeah, like, but the thing is, he smashes a containment unit with that fucking so dude's head. He smashes the containment unit open, and that planting just destroys. I don't know, destroys fucking the dude who was has his head smashed against it.
Yeah.
I don't know. I just yeah, because we'll do there. Yeah, you're right. There, it's a synthetic
Hmm.
that is there. And again, is that the camp scene though? Is that from the camp scene? Because I have a feeling that's another scene as well. I don't
Could be.
know. I
I'm just drawing, zooming, but yeah, it probably could be somewhere else. It could be maybe mid transport. Maybe it was in
yeah,
mid transport of that whatever they had in that container, and that's
it
what happened.
it it gotta again. We mightn't have seen all the fucking creatures that this planet has to offer. I'm like Also, if anyone is in fucking doubt, Will and Yutani are balls deep in this fucking story. They are. There's no doubt. Will and Yutani is involved in this. Um, the bioweapons division in particular is involved in it because I'll just show you the image here now. I'll bring it up because they're even using the fucking mother system computer. And like I know people are like, oh no, you can't really see the logo, it's all hearsay. I'm like, are you for fucking real? Like there it is in well, white and white, like Wayland Yutani mother system. So as well by the code, this is definitely after Aliens because it's got the newer Wayland Yutani logo, but
Mm.
it's before. It could be around the same time as Romulus, actually, which would make sense if you wanted to connect the
Wait,
two.
Romulus. Okay, so do you think it's during Romulus,
Yeah,
or
it's
could it
it's
be,
Romulus.
or could it be also during the time of Alien Earth?
I don't know. There's fucking uproar over Alien Earth as well because Noah Hawley has said it's closer to Aliens. It's around the same time of the events of Aliens.
Mm.
But the synopsis and everything I've seen says it's set 2 years before Alien. And
Oh
if
wow.
yeah, but the thing is, it would actually from from a standpoint, it would be make more sense for it to be set around the time of
Prior.
Aliens because sorry,
You saying prior or during Aliens?
during Aliens or maybe a year or two prior because they're using pulse rifles and they're using stuff like 57 years after Alien. So I've always had issues with the timeline, especially in fanfic and stuff, where it's like their story says 80 years after Aliens or 20 years before, and they're using the same kind of ships and the same weapons. That would be like us still using fucking Tommy guns going over to
True.
Afghanistan. It's like
Because Alien and Aliens, what was it? Because Sigourney, she was Ripley, she was how long?
57 years. There was a
57
57
years,
years.
right, in
Yeah.
hibernation. So
Yeah.
yeah, that's a lot of time. I mean,
That's 60 years. It mightn't seem, but like fucking technology changes.
oh
But
yeah,
um the weapons in this store are fucking oddity to me because for me the weapons actually look something more reminiscent from Alien Resurrection. Did you?
Hmm.
What did you think? The kind of these boxy, kind of clunky looking fucking
I
machine guns and stuff.
I gotta remember these aren't colonial marines. These are
Mhm,
corporate people. So they and on top of that, these are supposedly all androids. So you got corporate weapons being used on this planet by androids. So
mhm,
they're gonna have perhaps their own version of it. So yeah, you're not gonna get what we saw in Aliens, the exact models, in my opinion. You're gonna see
mhm.
some differences there. I did find, and I like the part with, and some people may not like it. The part where Deck is actually using one of the rifles
Yeah,
where he was shooting it, because the very few things that I like from the Predator was when the Predator grabbed a machine gun and was using it in the lab.
I am fucking bamboozled by the amount of people that get annoyed by that. They're like, why's the Predator using a human gun? Comics, video games, novels, fucking Predator big game. The Predator uses an M16.
It,
Predator, Alien vs. Predator, deadliest of the species. You got one rocking a pulse rifle. You got one in fucking, and again, I know I'm reaching for straws in
but
Batman
but
versus Predator 3. One's using a six shooter. If they're in a bind, they're hunters. They're skilled and knowledgeable about
but
hunting things that have used weapons, so they would know how to use their prey's
but
weapons as well.
and it's like, it's like art. It's like if you're gonna be upset about a human using a Predator blade. If a
Mm,
human's trying to survive, he's like, "Oh, I can't use that blade because it's alien." No, the human's gonna grab
yeah,
an alien blade or whatever, if he's in a tight spot to try to survive. Even try to,
yeah.
if it's a fire weapon, try to figure out how to use it. So, but I just thought it was pretty neat. Maybe it was a callback to that. I don't know. He seems to kind of do little things here and there that, to kind of give us a reminiscent to certain other movies. So,
And it's not just movies as well, Predpool, because like,
hmm.
for example, I like the reference. I don't know if anyone's played it. Predator Hunting Grounds. That
Oh
they've
yeah.
introduced the bow. They've
Hmm.
introduced the bow. Now I don't know how I feel that it's an energy bow, but at least it's still an eye. The design and the shape is fucking absolutely taken from Hunting Grounds.
You
And
probably got some one of the designers worked at Lucasfilm or something and say, "Hey, we need energy balls."
I was like, fucking, it shoots lightsabers. Oh, for fuck.
Exactly. We were gonna use this in one of our series for Star Wars, but let's put it here instead.
I still think it's cool. I just don't know how I feel about it shooting energy arrows. What do you
Well,
think?
yeah, I don't know. I just don't see how you can pull a energy string that has an energy arrow and it launches. But hey, you know what? This is future tech from an alien race, so I guess yeah, they can figure it out.
Max says he's actually been playing Concrete Jungle. That's another fucking thing I like in this trailer. I think Deck or Tia fucking ends up commandeering a Ulysses vehicle. Now, in case anyone's wondering, what the fuck is a Ulysses vehicle? A Ulysses vehicle is essentially a primitive, one of the early versions of the power loader that you saw in
Mm.
Predator Concrete Jungle. And they seem to use that fucking thing against this giant monster that's loose in the camp. Now, I think it's them. I have a feeling it's them that's fucking control behind the wheel of it, or do you think it's the synthetics that are driving that thing?
I think it's Tia, that's synthetic. She might be in it, and that's where she got split in half,
Mm,
probably. So she probably tried to stop it or something. But at the same time, the thing is, it's like I don't know where they're going to show that creature. But they're already showing it in the trailer, so it's not a
yeah.
secret. So if they show it like halfway through the movie, it's not, it's not going to be spoiling anything because we already saw it now, between in this trailer. So I'm
Uh,
trying to pinpoint where this creature shows up and what other surprise can come towards the end after this creature, if there is one. But
I have theories. I have theories. Um,
yeah.
I
But that's the thing. But I think it might be her. um,
Okay.
because they went as far as to show from there's a part where they show the creature's mouth and he's attacking that
The cat.
vehicle,
Yeah.
and so they're showing someone from inside looking at it. So I would think they will do that with someone who is like a main character or of importance. I don't know.
Yeah. I think it is the halfway point that that attack happens. I think it makes shit of the camp. I think deck facing off with it takes place at the remnants of the camp,
Hmm.
because there's in the first trailer we saw a bunch of smashed vehicles. So yeah, I think it's around then. I'm just gonna put it out there. I'm 90% sure we're getting a xenomorph in this movie. I don't know what cast, I don't know what fucking host it comes out of, but I think the Dex final kind of prey, his crucible, will be a xenomorph, and that's what's going to get him back into the clan. Now, whether this is an actual scene where he fights it, or if it's a fucking Empire Strikes Back and like he unsheathes a blade and goes into a hive and there's a queen there and we cut to black, I don't know. But I'm putting the chips on the table. Now, everyone's probably going to come back and take the piss out of me if I'm wrong. Fuck it. But I just, no, but the thing is, there is so much fucking Wayland Yutani in this fucking movie. It would not make sense to I get they're trying to expand the universe and stuff, but this is not a fucking this is not an Easter egg. These characters, this corporation is intricate to the plot of this fucking to this fucking movie. It why not if that was not the case, why not use a future version of the OWLF?
Hmm.
I don't know. Do you think I'm clutching at straws, or do you think that there's definite consensus that we're getting a xenomorph in this movie?
Yeah, I think in some shape or form, um, towards the end, whether it be a cliffhanger or we don't know if we actually fight one. But yeah, I think at some stage of a xenoform we're gonna see. It might be to where they go into a room and there's an egg in a case, and it kind of like either pisses him off, or he's kind of trying to figure what's going on, or like you said, maybe there is a xeno that escaped, and now he says, oh, here's my chance to really prove myself, because these
Mhm.
people, these robots, whatever, bought this thing here, which is exactly what I needed to kill to show that I am a worthy warrior. um we don't know. Maybe she tells him, hey, you know what, I know where you can find a real, take me with you in this ship, and I'll show you where there's a real prize for you to go. And there they go. And maybe she shows him an image of the creature, and he knows of it because his, obviously, the Yautja have hunted them. But she tells him, I can take you where these things are at. And they go off, and maybe that's the Easter egg, that's the connection we're going to get with the Xeno itself.
Mhm.
Or here's a left field crazy idea. What if we're concentrating on the Xenos, but what instead they find something that's related to the engineers, which then leads us to the Xenos. So
Okay.
he's, I know it's left field, but what if we're all thinking this and he has something else in mind? Say, hey, you know what? They find these ruins of the engineers, or this some technology of the engineers, and Deck is like, oh crap, these things are here. And then further down, they'll connect it to the Xenos.
I
I know. I'm
I
just
no no no
going. It's
no
a
no
wild
no no, no.
idea, but it's just something
It's
kind
not
of like
out
left
there.
field, unexpected.
It's not out there as far as it could be. Like again, you could be dead on the money, because I still have a feeling Ridley Scott has a couple of fingers in this franchise, and maybe to keep the man happy, they include his fucking his crazy art house take on Alien. Um.
The reason why I brought up the engineers, because in Romulus, they're
Oh yeah,
obviously,
the reference,
so
the yeah.
even that new the I don't know, it's not newborn. I forgot the name of this new
Offspring.
creature, offspring. He's heavily engineer influenced. So the engineers exist, obviously, and Romulus. They're saying it is kind of possibly connected. Maybe they want to do a Romulus, and now with this Predator side of the story, connect at some point.
Well, I actually have a theory of my own that might be connected to Noah Hawley's new series. Tia is synthetic to an extent, but I think she is one of the Lost Boys project. And again, spoilers for the TV show. Are you okay with potential spoilers for the TV show?
Only movies, not TV shows that have a certain honor code.
Okay, okay,
No, I'm
okay.
just not. Go ahead.
No,
It's
no, no,
fine.
no.
It's messing.
No, so the main plot of the TV show is they're putting the consciousness of terminally ill children
Yeah.
into synthetic bodies.
Hmm.
And I don't know who it was. I think it might have been Tembo said they had a very human personality to them. Um, Two things. It's possible that there is human consciousness in this synthetic body. And the other theory I have with these quote unquote siblings is I think maybe there might be two consciousnesses in this human body. I think both sisters are in the same body and it switches.
The only thing that I would doesn't will be the so far in the images that we've seen, they have one has purple, one doesn't have on the hair. They have different battle damages. So I think
Mhm.
they are two. I think you're right. They probably are sisters, but I think they are two different
Mhm.
synthetic bodies that they're using because they've been distinguished in different aspects: the hair, the clothing, the damages they've been getting, and so forth. Because even the one in the intro of this today's trailer, she has all these scars across her face. Well, the
I'm
one
I'm
that
just
that
I'm just
the one
wondering
that
though. I'm just wondering, is that like her at near the end of the movie or at the start of the movie when she's being repaired? Is she recollecting the story to us? Is she narrating it?
yeah,
Because
could, yeah,
she
possibly.
seems to be able to fucking understand Deck. That's an interesting thing because we only see him talking Yautja. So he's talking Yautja, he's talking Old Hish, and she's able to translate. So I'm wondering, is she the narrator of this movie? I I don't know. Again, it's like your thing. Maybe it's a stretch. Maybe they are two separate synthetics, but
Hmm.
I just theorized: what if the consciousness of two sisters were put into one synthetic body, one who is a decent and kind of human being, and one who is this manipulative kind of corporate spy. And it would be clever. It would be clever having, if you could have a spy that could get past kind of psychological probing. Oh, okay, they've been captured. Here, switch the other sister on. Oh, I'm
Hmm.
innocent. I'm innocent, or vice versa. So I think that's potential. Again, clutching at straws. You're probably going to come back and laugh your whole off at me, but
No,
uh,
no. I mean, the
uh,
thing is, we haven't. None of us have seen a movie, so
mm,
anything is possible. Once we see it and we see the writers and directors' vision, um, some of the stuff, like like I just said about the engineer. They probably heard me. They might laugh at me and say, "Oh, this guy talking about engineers." So
no,
if you only knew what we wrote.
it's like, oh, well, get away with that Ridley Scott shit.
Yeah.
Um, I, I, I'm still more affectionate towards Killer of Killers than this. Granted, I've seen Killer of Killers, and I don't know even if I see this, will it live up to its expectations? It's in some ways it's moved the dial a bit higher up for me.
Hmm.
Um, in that we get a bit more characterization with Deck. Again, he's rash. I love where he's just trying to fight these tentacle fucking plant creatures and he's just getting fucking slapped around. And again, there's no finesse, there's no kind of fighting skill. He's just fucking swinging wildly. He gets his spear pulled off him. I just, I like that. We literally have a runt underdog for a main character. And the bit where like again the bit where he's kind of like I'm prey to none. I just
Hmm.
I like I like that bit because again he's just this brash teenager who just can't accept that yeah he's outmatched, he's outclassed. And like you were saying, they definitely tweaked the face. Like we've a couple of people watching. Do you think the face is better in this trailer than it was in the original? If you've seen the original, let us know in the comments as well. Because again, I still have issues with it, the execution, but I think it is a definite improvement over what we got. Um, is there anything? Is there any other things that you're liking or disliking from this trailer?
Um, no, I mean, again, I do like that it seems to be full of action.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I'm going into this, for an action movie. I know it's not going to be a suspenseful horror like the first movie. I know what it is. It's been a while since I've been this excited to see a movie at the theater. Um, there's a lot of other movies that have come out that, if I kind of say I'm just going to wait for it to come out on one of the streaming services or I'll catch it there, But this one, November comes along, I'm getting my ticket. I'm going to see it. I think it's from based on what I'm seeing so far. I think I'm going to enjoy it. If for some reason it turns out to be like the Predator, then well, it was.
We'll come back here and we'll have a
We'll come
cathartic
back
fucking
here and
rip,
we'll
just
pat each
rip
other in
the
the
fuck.
back, we're sob. Oh, again it happened.
This is all your fault. You told me the Messiah would return.
but
Also double.
but but being that the same director did Prey, the same
Mm,
director did Killer of Killers, and he did a decent job.
yeah,
And however you might enjoy more one than the other than I do, whatever. But we kind of say we neither one is trashing either one of those
yeah.
movies. Neither one of us is saying, "Oh my God, that never should have been done." We're saying, "Hey, you know what? It
No,
was
no, no.
good. There's some tweaks, this and there maybe, but overall, these two installations installments, I'm sorry, that have been put in for the Predator franchise have been pretty solid."
Yeah.
Um, so I kind of with this third movie coming out in theater and one based on the trailer, I feel comfortable and I feel I have enough faith in him saying that what I think I'm going to get my money's worth. I'm going to enjoy it, and to the point that I possibly want to get the physical copy and have it in my collection. This movie.
Just Double Features podcast says, I love the fact we'll be following a young predator coming into his own. Yeah, we got that in a way with fucking AVP, but I think this is a lot more interesting. I think we will actually get character development. Not that Scar had his moments, but
Hmm.
I think we're going to be getting a more deeper kind of story with this character, and yeah, it's going to be interesting. Um, I
How do you
is
how do you feel about the high possibility, which it seems that Deck is going to survive this movie?
no, I'm happy with that. I'm happy with that because you know what? These give one of these bastards a fucking give him a win. Give him a win.
Give him a
And
win, right?
it's plausible. It's plausible because he's not going up against Arnie. He's not going up against anyone. He is literally the runt underdog. So
Hmm.
yeah, I can see him going off and maybe like there's lads out there. I don't know how I feel. Oh, and we're going to get an Avengers team, and Ray and Andy and Ripley and Tia and Deck are going to team up to fight the ultimate fucking queen pred alien engineer creature. And I'm like, okay, just
Wait a
stop.
minute. You said Pred Alien Queen Engineer. Wow,
Yeah.
that is that is one mix. I'm trying to picture that one now.
It's,
Like
it's
no
and it's
no.
it's got arms from a Terminator, and part of its tail is John Carpenter's the thing.
Oh my God.
Dude, what the fuck? Chill.
Oh, and the Independence Day creature thrown in for the mix because it came out of the chest of one of those.
It's well, apparently the fucker. What do you think? Do you think that's one of them that's in the trophy case, or do you think it's the War of the Worlds one?
It would make more sense to me if it was from the Independence Day, just for the fact it's the same
Fox.
studio.
Yeah, Fox. Well,
So it makes
they
that
were with Fox.
so that I kind of leans more towards that theory. Um, but both aliens look pretty similar, so it's
Yeah.
hard to unless again the creators behind it just flat out say what it is. But I think it's more towards the Independence Day.
Yeah, the Harvesters. Um, it's an Easter egg. I can't really see. I can't really see him fucking. Someday we get in a Predator versus Independence Day. It's like, like there was no scene in fucking 1997 fucking Predator 2 where Mike Harrigan goes, "Man, Los Angeles is a lot better since those aliens attacked downtown and blew up the White House." It's like,
But when did Independence Day occur though? It wasn't in 90 when Predator 2 came out, was it? Wasn't it
no,
after?
no, it wasn't. But timeline wise, if
That's what I'm
someone was
saying.
like, yeah. Yeah, so no, but like there's people that say, and I like the idea of like the Hyperdyne system and the Cyberdyne system. There's people that argue that Terminator takes place in the Alien and Predator timeline, but like everyone in Aliens, everyone's so comfortable around synthetics, and no one mentions, hey, do you remember the war at the turn of the century when the robots nearly wiped out the human race?
No,
Oh
we
yeah.
we got fail safes now. We're good.
Oh, Jesus. Well, let's see.
Nah, that's one franchise I don't really. I mean, unless you're nah, I wouldn't want to just keep it in the comics, but not in live action or series, whatever. Keep the Terminator franchise by itself.
Mhm.
Because what's gonna happen is this: they deal with time travel, and it's just gonna mess everything else. It's gonna mess up even more the Alien franchise and possibly Predator if they do time
But
travel stuff.
but if they mix that universe, so Avengers style, Earth's history would be a fucking hellscape. Well, firstly, we were attacked by aliens who blew up the White House. Then Terminator, then Cyberdyne Systems Terminators destroyed most of the planet, wiping out 90% of the populace. Then things got better and we made replicants. Then like, where
And
do
then
you stop?
corporations came and ruined the Earth, and
Yeah, it's cool. It's cool to nerd out over stuff like that. But yeah, keep it in the comics, reference it in video games, reference it in novels. But if you start integrating that into the mainstream franchise, it's going to it's going to cause issues. And again, I used to be one of these guys who loved that. I loved Mel Ruby's fucking Alien versus Predator versus Terminator. I love that comic.
do
Uh,
you?
I do, I do. No, 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 no.
The only,
I
the
tell
only
you
thing
what.
the only thing I like about that comic at that time when I read it the first time was they continued Ripley's story
In
after
Resurrection,
Elliot resurrection.
yeah,
So they show her what happened. She landed on Earth. She was
yeah.
like miserable, and then now she found a purpose again. So that part of the story, I was like, okay, I like this because it shows what happened to her and what she's doing now, this and that. But other than that, I just didn't like how they. I mean, the aliens and the Terminator part of it.
I don't
It,
like the hybrids when the Terminator
mm-mm,
starts using xenomorph parts onto it, and
exactly.
then yeah, it's bull. It's a bit bull crap. Do you want to discuss the TV show for a small bit for the last 10, 15 minutes? You want to discuss the
Sure,
TV show? Oh,
sure.
also, I just want to say hello to Juno 2000 came in. Hey, Marty Predpool in Texas. This trailer is a little bit
Hello.
better than the crappy teaser trailer. Yeah, yeah, no. The design is certainly better. So Noah Hawley has come out and confused every fucking one and said that Alien Earth is set in closer to the aliens timeline than the alien timeline. It was advertised as being set 2 years before the events of Alien, and now Noah Hawley is saying it's set around the time of Aliens. And that would make more sense because some of the tech,
Hmm.
like there's smart guns, there's pulse rifles, there's some atmosphere processors, um, and I think they even have the newer Wayland Litani logo, like in this one. And yeah, I'm a bit worried when the showrunner is confused of when his fucking show takes place. Now, maybe I'm being a pedantic nerd, but would that not set off alarm bells for you?
Uh, yes and no. I mean, I chalk it up as human imperfection. He's
Yeah,
busy trying to get this show together,
yeah,
whatever,
yeah,
this and that, and maybe he just misquoted himself.
yeah,
No, 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 I meant this aliens. That's what
yeah, yeah,
I'm sorry. So, which, like to your point, I agree with you. It makes more sense that it's in that timeline before the second movie,
yeah.
because it shows, Ash communicated and this and that, and now they're aware of the Xenos and blah blah blah. So, now they're trying to find all these creatures and create weapons of destruction with them. So,
I
uh,
I have. Oh, also hello to Trenchy. Trenchy has just dropped into the stream. Jen wants to know as well because we were discussing this because Jen watched the trailer. Jen wants to know, as do you think there's going to be a romantic fucking thing with Deck and Tia? Are we as bad as it got in Alien versus Predator with Lex and Scar? Are we going to get it worse in this one?
um, yeah, I don't know.
I hope
No,
not. I hope not,
I
because
hope
there's going to be some
not.
Hisher women. There's going to be some Hisher women out there writing us seriously fucked up fanfics.
I mean,
Um,
it'll be interesting how that works out. I mean, she doesn't perhaps have a lot of pain receptors, so maybe she'll be okay with it with the whole
maybe
kissing
that's
part.
how she got snapped in half.
Oh well, oh man, that would be messed up, bro. Because then when he's done, he like sees her and have, oh, I'm done with you. Bye. And just throws her on the floor. Oh my
The ultimate flashlight. Good luck.
God. Yeah, I'm done.
Oh, fuck.
You're
Okay.
broken to me now.
Ah, where's my receipt? Where's my receipt? I broke it. No, let's see. I just wanna highlight Juno's good question. I hope Badlands film makes it different where the Predator is able to kick ass and take no names like the motherfucker throughout. And giving me Predator 2 vibes of the Predator using weapons. Yeah, it's yeah, hopefully it'll be good. Hopefully it'll be good. I have um, going back to Alien Earth, have you any theories or aspirations or anything for Alien Earth?
I I want a new like the like they're already focusing a lot on the Oculus one, the little
T Oculus.
jellyfish thing, T
Yeah,
Oculus. So whether after the series or whatever, I want something now, like a separate franchise.
yeah,
With I want one of those. In other words, I want one of those creatures to be so like, oh my god, this thing is crazy. And then we get the series, we see what happened, but then eventually we explore its own stories with whatever creature it is that really because for years, okay, we've had aliens and we got predators. Trying to think any other alien creatures that really stand out, for the past few decades. It's some. I think it's time for something kind of like fresh to be thrown. They start a whole new franchise. It's kind of like with the horror franchises. We got Artie the Clown. He's
yeah,
kind of like the latest thing. He wasn't started in the 80s. He wasn't. He's more of this kind of current generation
yeah.
stuff, and he's
So
doing, and it impresses.
you want a new you want this generation's version of Alien. You want something
Exactly.
new
Something new
and
that will come out from this series. They're given the supposedly, including the Xeno, there's going to be 5 creatures on that ship. So hopefully one of them, aside from the Xeno, is going to be like, whoa, I want to see more of that.
I have a theory, and again, it's another outlandish theory. I think the fucking xenomorph is going to be the unwitting savior of the human race. So
I can see that.
my thing is each one of these creatures, because if you go on the website and if you look up some of the stuff, each one of these creatures, it's a form of attack, or it's form of fucking dispatching humans. The Teoculus controls humans by pushing out the human eyeball and connecting to it. The plant creature dissolves humans using an acid. What's the one thing that could actually withstand those two attacks? Fucking xenomorph. Xenomorph has no eye socket to fucking retake, and it's also able to withstand acid.
Well, it depends because, like, if you notice some of the Xenos when they have the clear dome, you see the skull, which
Yeah,
has
yeah, yeah,
the.
yeah. But
So
they're
I mean, the
but
Oculus
they're
could go in. Now the acid will probably burn those
yeah.
tentacles.
It wouldn't be. I think that the xenomorph, the four other creatures, are going to their abilities that let them dispatch humans. The xenomorph itself would be kind of essentially guarded or defended, or would be able to withstand the different attacks. And I think it will dispatch each one of these things throughout the series.
It depends again. If based on what they're saying that there is a ship that land crashes on a city and all these creatures escape and they go their own pretty much their separate ways. If that's what it is, it's going to be the Xena will have to actively hunt each of the other four willingly. But as we know, Xenos they don't really care about that kind of stuff. They just want to find, a
Procreate.
host to help find, to create a
But but
queen and this and that. So
but look at it this way as well, though. If you want to establish a hive, you need to fucking dispatch. Trench, this is the TV show that's coming out the 12th of August, I think.
hmm yep,
12th of August. So, but as I was saying, Predpool, if you're going to establish a hive, you're going to want to dispatch any potential predators for your host animals. Like,
it
it's if you don't want wolves killing your cattle before you take them to the slaughterhouse.
true. Again, like based on what we've seen with, like, especially with aliens, they try to multiply first and
Mhm.
then conquer. Um,
Yeah,
so if it's like one Xeno, the one Xeno's like, well, I'm not going to try to take all these things by myself. I have to first make friends. Once we grow in numbers, then we'll go ahead and deal with these other things. But yeah, I mean, it could be, but I agree with you. I think somehow in some way the Xeno is gonna be either the Xeno itself or man utilizes the Xeno somehow to dispatch the other four
yeah.
or to
Again, I know,
protect themselves from the other four.
I'm not saying fuck aliens has gone woke. The xenomorph got a conscience and decided to fight the human. No, it's just
No, you're like territorial. Like they're trying to say,
yeah,
hey,
yeah, yeah.
this
I
is
saw these things
this is our
first.
food. Get away.
Yeah, yeah. I saw these things first. I'm gonna fucking I'm taking them out. Fuck off. That's the thing. That's what it's gonna do. Just want to highlight some comments. Juno 2000 says, the first AVP I do enjoy. The second film is humongous monkey shit. Wouldn't agree with you there. There's fun to be had, but I will agree with the point you made. They filmed it so damn dark, it's barely hard to see the pred alien and the blood. Yeah, again, you're right in that. Texas said Juno and I are working a treatment for a standalone alien film where a ship goes on a mission to a planet that holds aliens and a bunch of abandoned Walmarts. So it's set in the Alien Resurrection universe. Cool. Me and Texas kicking ass in a piece of shit Walmart with karate and martial arts fighting aliens. Cool. Fuck it, I'd watch it. What about you, Predpool? I fucking check
Yeah,
that out.
definitely. Yeah.
Let's see. Juno says the first issue I have with first AVP is that it was wrong to make it a PG-13. Dead right with that. Predator suits look terrible, and they got the wrong director. Should have gotten Rennie Harlem or Paul Verhoeven. Yeah, dead right with that. The alien's a bug that will do what it does to survive and unwittingly saves the human race. It would be awesome. Again, I think the main creatures, the four other main creatures, their attacks are going to be something that is redundant against the xenomorph. The Teoculus. Again, I don't think there's any connection points. I think that entire dome works as a fucking
hmm
ocular receptor. I think that there's nothing to connect to in the socket. And I think that the chitin armor is galvanized to whatever fucking acid that plant creature is going to be fucking spraying off.
Now that plant creature was it kind of like a tentacle one, like kind of like what
Yeah,
we're going to see in
yeah, it
Badlands,
hangs
basically?
up and opens like a flower. It
Mm.
dissolves. It's apparently you can go online and you can look up on the website, on the Alien Earth website. There's dossiers. They're releasing a dossier a month, and I think they've released one in the Theoculus. And I don't want to keep on forgetting the designation for the
But
plant creature.
we're still missing two of them, right? As far
Two
as
more, two more, and
details.
let's see. Do you think the Alien TV show is a good or bad idea? Do you know, I'm kind of 50-50 in this, that the whole point of Ripley's sacrifice, the whole point of Ripley's journey in that original, I'm going to say trilogy, I'm not acknowledging Resurrection, in the original trilogy, because no, people laugh. It's not me being a dick. It's because Ellen Ripley is not the same as Ripley 8. This is a different character. This is a character who sacrificed
Gotcha.
herself. So Ripley's sacrifice was to prevent the alien getting to Earth, to prevent xenomorphs procreating and destroying the planet. And if it turns out, well, they actually arrived 2 years before the events of Alien, that makes it kind of redundant. That makes her struggle somewhat redundant, in my opinion. In my opinion, I don't know. What do you think? Do you think like setting it on Earth before the events of Alien or even Aliens? Do you think setting it on Earth in the actual timeline that Ripley is alive is a bit of a
It's very tricky because when she gets out of hibernation, um, she don't find any records of aliens. I mean, unless again it was like hidden records of top
yeah,
secret
Wayland
stuff.
Yutani covered it up.
So let's
Just,
say okay, it's,
just like they covered up the Cyberdyne War, the fucking Terminator
yeah.
War of 2029.
So okay, so they covered it all up. So Ripley had no way to know that when she got out of hibernation. So then Aliens movie happens. Then, like you said, then events come to the third movie where she sacrifices life. So to her knowledge, to what she believes, you know, the aliens or the Xenos only exist in space, and then she's trying to stop from Earth. So it doesn't necessarily mean her sacrifice wasn't valid because to her knowledge and to her experience that she had lived through to that point, that's what she is doing. Now the series, if it's happening right before Aliens, and there's no way for her to know, well, and if they were able to contain it, which we'll probably see at the end of the series, they contain it somehow where it doesn't, the whole Earth is now xenotopia anymore,
It's set in some kind of
so
private island, Prodigy
exactly,
Corporation
but
owns an
even
island.
even if
Nuke
they
it.
take they nuke it, or even then it's not like an egg. It's when the face hugger escapes into the ocean and gets on a dolphin, and then now you're gonna, what I'm saying, that's a possibility because it goes to any organism. So if it's a sea life, it can do that with them also. So it would, in other words, the Earth at that point when Ripley comes back from hibernation, there's no infestation of the Earth.
Yeah.
Even after in Resurrection, even though you don't consider that, you can not part of the when they go back to Earth, yeah, it's considered a hellhole, but it's not because there's Xenos running amok on Earth.
Yeah, it's because of financial issues or
Yeah,
pollution or whatever.
financial, the ecological, all that stuff,
Yeah.
So I think it can work as far as the series, the timeline. That I don't think it would have worked if it was prior to the first movie, but between that 56 years, where there's that gap.
It's still fucking good. It's still fucking good.
But
It
yeah, I'm okay. I mean, as of right now, I'm okay with it. I don't think it muddies too much as far as timeline and events. Again, events are based on what you know and what you're aware of going on. This is nowhere as messy as the Terminator
yeah.
franchise is, which is all over the place. But
Oh no
I,
no no no! The Terminator fucking franchise is fucking
I
Jesus.
think they're doing an effort to keep some kind of you
Continuity.
know continuity records of events that happen and so forth. So there is some logic behind most of it.
I'm gonna finish it off here, but before I go, I have one more question for you and people in the chat. Do you think this is the renaissance age for the Alien and Predator franchise? Do you think this is the new begin? Do you think this is a good thing that we're starting off with a more positive and more kind of accepted and appreciated entries into the franchise? Do you think this is the Disney Renaissance for the literal Disney Renaissance for the fucking Alien and Predator franchise?
I think so because even with the other licenses that Disney owns, if you anywhere any as far as chats and so forth, there's been always arguments from one side or the other. I hate this about Marvel. No, I love this about Marvel. Even with DC, I hate this about DC. I love this about the. With the Predator and Aliens, I haven't seen as much disagreements
Yeah,
or people get on each other's throat over the licensing. Even today, when the trailer came out, I was looking at all these other reactions. 90% of the people who saw it, and I'm not talking about people that are, like chills and like regular, just like you and me, regular people are reacting. I can't wait to see this movie. Oh man, that looks good. Yes, I don't like this or that, but man, I can't wait to see it in theaters. I see an overall excitement. People really want to see this be successful, whether it's Predator or the Aliens. So I think this is a time that they can really stand out and make a big mark in the entertainment um, industry if they keep a certain rhythm. But if they permit certain other writers or certain directors get involved that have their own ideas and want to change things completely off and say, "Hey, I love what they did in the movie The Predator. I want to do the same thing." No, just keep the rhythm they're doing. Do some tweaks here and there. Listen to the fans. That are making sense, and I think, yes, I think these two franchises, this is their time to stand out because people are hungry for good entertainment, for action, for suspense, for, decent storytelling, for what the franchise is. Because even with Star Wars, people are so divided with that. Is that, people are like frustrated, not so much even just with the movies or the shows, but just frustrated that they have to argue with other people to explain why they like or don't like something.
I'm with you, and I again I was kind of like I don't know I don't know how I feel about this being more of a sci-fi adventure than a horror kind of thing, but again it's a case where you have to innovate.
Hmm.
You can keep on churning out the same fucking thing over and over again, and you'll keep the same people happy, but those same people are going to get old. They're going to pass on. And then a whole new generation will be like, hey, do you remember those old movies that those fucking old bastards used to like? Hey, let's make fun of them. Hey, these are like Commando. It's like, you need to innovate. You need to fucking make something that's relevant for a newer generation. And don't get me wrong, I love the older um, Alien movies. I love the original trilogy. Again, I'm sorry, I'm just going to call it trilogy. Um, I have Juno. Remind me to show you my collection of Kenner figures because yeah, they done some cool stuff. Hawk Alien would be freaky. Uh, yeah, I don't know if we're going to get another continuation Ridley Scott saga. I don't know if we even want one. But again, I, I have my issues with Romulus, but there's a solid film there. I'm not gonna fucking suck at stick like a lot of people are. I have still have some issues over the ending kind of creature and the way Rook was portrayed. Again, the whole AI
Yeah,
and
I mean, I wasn't a fan of that creature myself either,
yeah,
but the rest of the movie, I thought it was entertaining.
yeah,
I thought it was, um, did I think the way they found Chap and all that stuff did it make sense to me? Not really, but
no.
it's fiction. It is what it is. That's what they decided to go with as far as, trying to get the black goo out of Chap who was curled in the wreckage.
I am. Let's see. Trenchy says, Resurrection was great. The ice cream alien in it. Yeah, the newborn. I preferred the design of the newborn to the fucking to the offspring. Which did
I
you
agree.
prefer?
I agree. I feel the same.
It was interesting looking. There was something about the offspring. It's like it's Slender Man. It's just a big long skinny fucker.
To me, when I saw the offspring, I'm like, well, we're not gonna give you an engineer, but we're gonna give you something that looks like an engineer.
Yeah.
I'm like, well, just give me an engineer. I mean, he looks got the face and everything.
Or
It just
how about we don't end an alien movie with it being sucked out of the airlock of a ship? How about and like everyone's like, whoa, these movies, you know what shit? Alien 3 is shit. No, it fucking isn't. I love the script. I love the cast. It's a cool story. And for once, they don't shoot the fucking thing out the airlock of a ship. They actually find a cool and interesting way to kill it. Sorry.
in molten lava.
Yeah, lava. No, lead. Molten lead.
Ledge.
Lead. Yeah,
Yeah. It,
no, Juno, it's not the aliens, Romulus and Resurrection are the same endings, dude. It's the fucker. It's the same fucker getting blown out the airlock. But you're right. Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. I'm hoping this is a rejuvenation for the franchise. The Predator franchise, I am a lot more forgiving because the majority of them I like. I like the original. I fucking adore 2. I adore Predators.
hmm
Predator,
no.
AVP movies,
Well, I
Prey.
think it was
Fuck.
Juno that mentioned earlier. The first AVP, that is my guilty pleasure. I
Mhm,
just watched that over and over just for quick. The second one is just too dark, but
mhm.
Lone Wolf, well, he just
Wolf is
awesome.
cool. Wolf is awesome. Nika, if you're watching us, there's 2 nerds here with fucking paychecks that can fucking. But please make us a fucking articulated wolf figure. I'm going
Hey,
to end it here, but before I do, I just want to give a big thanks to everyone stopped in. Juno 2000, awesome dude. Check out his channel. Double feature podcast. These ladies are awesome. They do some wicked fucking live streams, and they do some absolutely great podcast. So definitely check them out. Good friend, old friend of mine, Swallows Trenchcoat, another class fucking dude. We have Texas. Texas was in the chat as well. I just don't want to miss anyone. Sorry if I miss anyone. Brian Kubrick Lover was in the chat. Tembo Cinema. My gorgeous girlfriend Jen Mitchell was in the chat. Mac was in the chat. Mr. Dan and Horror. Sparksatron, another cool collector. All awesome people. Thanks a million for stopping in. You guys kick ass. But before I go as well, please check out this dude's channel, Predpool. If you're a figure aficionado, if you collect NECA figures, be it horror or sci-fi, if you collect Marvel Legends, if you collect Falaverse or Mystic Legion, is it Mystic Legions or Mythic Legions?
Mythic Legions, but I recently done 2 videos of Savage Crucible. These guys are awesome. Check
Yeah,
out my vids on them.
if you check them out, yeah, the dude has a fucking collection that makes mine look minuscule. So that's saying something. I have to put his link into the description. So make sure you check him out there. And again, thanks for everyone stopping in. Have a good one. Take care. Bye
Later.
now.
Bye bye.
Bye bye.